start over. Just start over. It's a brand new day. It doesn't matter who you were yesterday or last week or last month or last year. It doesn't matter if people know you to be a certain person or to have certain personality traits. Who do you want to be today? What personality traits do you want to have today? What do you want to value today? What a lot of people don't realize is that at any point, you can just change who you are. You can go from being selfish to being selfless. You can go from being undisciplined to being disciplined. You can go from being a complete asshole to being kind. All of that is a choice. All of that is within your power. 0 people on earth are stopping you from doing that. It is your own discomfort. It is your own unwillingness to change. You are the only person stopping you from embodying the traits you want to embody and being the person that you ultimately want to be.
Good morning, Fort Worth. It is the 13th day in May. You got Andrew and Demetrie King. Good morning, Demetrie.
Good morning.
This is the Fort Worth Roots Morning Show. A quick snapshot, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, get you on your way to work, dropping the kiddos off at school, whatever you got going on. Our first segment of the day is weather, 98 degrees today. We're going to be setting some records this week, Demetrie.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it?
I feel it coming.
You got the AC serviced and ready to go?
Yep.
98 for a high today, 72 for a low. Tomorrow, Wednesday, here comes the record-breaking temps, triple digits, 103 for a high, 75 for a low. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe it won't get
You never know. You never really know, honestly.
Thursday, 90 for a high, 72 for a low. Friday, 92 for a high, 73 for a low. Saturday, 88 degrees for a high. So we start cooling down a little bit this weekend. 73 for a low. PM thunderstorms, 44% on Saturday. Sunday, back to 91 for a high and 74 for a low. Isolated thunderstorms. But we'll get you up to date tomorrow and Thursday. Hopefully those numbers will all change, hopefully. How you doing this morning, brother?
Doing all right.
Yeah. Anything of note since last Tuesday?
Just some moving and grooving. Got some new interns that stopped in from
Excellent.
TCU. So I want to say hello to Nakandra and to Tam. They're my new
welcome aboard
developers in the back end, hoping to bring some updates to the software.
Excellent. All right, let's get into National Day of. Today is Save Your Tooth Month. Well, that's the whole month of May. Okay. Children of Fallen Patriots Day, Cough Drop Day, Fair Trade Day, which Fair Trade Day, I guess that works too, because I guess all the tariffs got dropped. So that's good. I guess the stock market is behaving favorably now. International Hummus Day, I can get behind that. Do you have any Mediterranean places around town you like, Demetrie?
Not off the top of the head.
There's a few good ones. There's one right off of River Oaks Boulevard called Niche.
Okay.
That I really like, and it's pretty close to the studio, so that's one that I frequent. I haven't been to Terra since they opened up their new location. I think they're back on 7th Street. But Terra used to be my favorite.
Try it out.
This day in history, May 13th, 1938, jazz standard is born. Armstrong records When the Saints Go Marching In. Jazz trumpeter and singer Louis Armstrong records the traditional gospel hymn in a Dixieland jazz style. Though it isn't the first jazz version of the song, Armstrong's recording will turn it into a jazz standard that will be covered by hundreds of artists and find a place in pop culture sports. Pop culture and sports. Oh, yeah, for sure. 1981, the Pope is shot. A rough month for popes. Pope John Paul II shot in assassination attempt. 4 bullets hit Pope John Paul II as he enters Rome's St. Peter's Square in Vatican City. While the Pope is rushed to the hospital, police capture Mehmet Ali something of Turkey. The Pope will later forgive his would-be assassin, asking for his crime to be pardoned and meeting with him in person. That's pretty wild.
That is pretty wild.
1995, Everest climb. Accomplished mountaineer and 33-year-old mother of 2, Allison makes history as the first woman to conquer Mount Everest without the help of Sherpa guides or bottled oxygen. Sadly, she will perish after summiting another Himalayan giant, K2, exactly 3 months later. That's, I think, slow down, you're doing too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Golly. Okay. That was this date in history, 1995. All right, let's get into these Fort Worth stories. Let's see. Fort Worth ISD finalized list of 18 total proposed school closures. The Fort Worth Independent School District has finalized a proposal to close 18 schools over the next 4 years in response to a $17 million budget deficit. Let's just get into the schools. Let's see. The majority of the campuses slated for closure are elementary schools. Only 2, SS Dillo Elementary School and Eastern Hills Elementary School, will shut down at the end of this academic year. The remaining 16 closures would be phased in through June 2029. It sounds... okay, so I guess our test scores, our national test scores, have been so low that the state is getting ready to step in and take over our school district. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
I think is what we reported last week. And so our response to that is shutting down 18 schools. Okay, so here are the schools. And the reason we've reported on this already over the last couple of weeks, but this looks like, okay, they finally made a decision, and these are all the schools that are closing. Closure date, June 2025, SS Dillo ES, Eastern Hills ES. ES is elementary school, I guess. Closure date, June 2026, Milton Elementary School, Charles Elementary School, Riverside, ALC. What is that?
I don't know what that is.
I have no idea. Edward J. Briscoe Elementary School. And then in 2027, June 2027, De Zavala ES, AM Pate ES, J.T. Stevens Elementary School, Atwood McDonald's Elementary School, and then 2028, McLean 6th grade, consolidation previously approved, and then West Hanley Elementary School, consolidation previously approved. Not sure what that means. And then Harleen Bell Elementary School, H.V. Helbing Elementary School, Sunrise McMillan Elementary School, and then in 2029, Kirkpatrick Middle School, Morningside Middle School, and Hubbard Heights Elementary School. The story does go on. You can find this on MSN.com. The story is by Caroline Vandergriff. Posted this about 12 hours ago. All right. I don't know, man. I don't know how a city this size is shutting schools down and not having like severe issues. Like it just doesn't seem like the move. I mean, if you don't have the money for it, you don't have the money for it. But how? I am looking for. Here we go. I've got not a call in, but upcoming event by our buddy Ben C. Jones. I wanted to make sure we played it for you guys today, and it reset itself. That's so excellent. Okay, here we go. Mr. Ben C. Jones on the Fort Worth Roots podcast over at McFly's Pub. We did this recording about 3-4 weeks ago, I believe, and about the middle of this recording, he starts talking about a new album that he's releasing exclusively on the Amplify 817 network. You can find it on amplify817.org. That's coming up here in a couple of weeks. And then he's got a show playing at the Post. Take it away, Bency Jones and Andrew from the past.
What I can do with those guys.
It's just another step.
Yeah, so Friday, May 23rd is the official release day.
Oh, this episode airs on the 24th.
It'll be on the 24th, 25th of May. It's a long wait.
Just kidding.
To put this video out.
It's got to come out before Friday because we're supposed to also be talking up the Post, which is on the 4th, for the Fort Worth Songwriters thing with Keegan McEnroe.
That's right. And speaking of the Post, great segue. My album release show will be at the Post on June 13th. And I know what you're thinking. Why are you promoting this so early? Well, you got to these days.
Yeah.
You got to be able to go around, get the word out. I think that's the advantage.
All right, that was Bency Jones, a friend of ours. We've been doing recordings and working with that gentleman for years now, and he will be playing at the Post on the 13th. The Post is at the old Lola's and half of what used to be Birdie's Social Club. And if y'all haven't been in there yet, it's a great vibe, and Bency's the best, so make sure y'all check out that. And thank you, Bency. All right, let's get into the next Fort Worth story. Y'all might have heard about this. I've seen it on several different outlets. We're sinking. DFW is sinking faster than any inland urban area in the nation. This is on NBCDFW.com, and the story's by Kevin Smith. Did you hear about this? Did you know that Dallas-Fort Worth, home to over 8 million people, is sinking? North Texas residents are among roughly 34 million Americans whose cities are sinking into the earth, according to a new report published in the journal Nature Cities. Researchers use satellite-based radar measurements to analyze the rate of subsidence underneath our nation's most densely populated cities. The study found that all 28 of the U.S. Most populous cities are sinking, posing worsening flood risks and damage to urban infrastructures. The study found that in all 28 cities examined, at least 20% of the area was sinking, and in 25 of them, at least 65% were subsiding. The largest city in the U.S., New York City, a coastal city, sank 2.5 millimeters, while Los Angeles, another coastal city, sank less than 1 millimeter. Inland city Chicago sank just over 2 millimeters. Let's get to the part about DFW. According to the study, Houston is the fastest sinking city in the nation, with more than 40% of its area subsiding more than 5 millimeters per year, and 12% sinking at twice that rate. 5 millimeters is about 0.2 of an inch. Dallas and Fort Worth had the highest rates of any inland city, with an average of more than 4 millimeters per year, or about 0.16 inches. The methodology is here for how the study's authors designated whether a city is coastal, inland, or blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the story does continue, and it could be a big issue.
Just going on in.
So if you're in a area where you don't have to pay for flood insurance, wait around 10 years, that might change. All right, next story, and this is actually a local good news story. Found this on pupvine.com. Texas woman discovered a dog lying in mud along with another furry surprise. When a woman I am really tongue-tied this morning. When a woman went outside her house in Fort Worth, Texas, she couldn't have imagined that she was about to make an astonishing discovery. After she heard mysterious squealing sounds, she followed them to find out where they were coming from. A couple of moments later, she was surprised to see a white, emaciated dog curled up in a muddy space by her house. The pup had a sad and dejected look on its face. Once the resident looked at her feet, she realized the dog was not alone. In the picture, it's got what looks to be maybe 5 or 6 little puppies.
Oh.
The woman was heartbroken after she saw a litter of tiny squealing puppies huddled around their mom's paws. The babies were cold and covered in mud, and they needed urgent help and care in order to survive. After the woman reached out for help, Erica from Saving Hope Rescue rushed to save the doggy family. Erica drove them to the hospital for a medical checkup. As soon as they were given a clean bill of health, Saving Hope Rescue took them under their care. Man, it's another thing that I've noticed lately. Like, there seems to be like a huge issue with our dog care facilities around. I know that one of the major animal shelters has been shut down for a while because they had some kind of bacterial infection that they've been trying to scrub out of the walls. Yeah. So, and Michelle was on the show yesterday, Michelle from the Body Scrubbery, and she had a stray with her. And she said she can't find anybody that will take the thing.
Yeah, it's so we actually rescued our dog whenever we took him. Like, it was kind of packed full everywhere, and it was hard to get him, and we ended up keeping him. But we ended up getting a good little package deal with them because we got him for free, and they neutered him and all that stuff. So it ended up being good. But yeah, it was a pretty stacked full shelter whenever we were driving around trying to see where he could possibly go.
Yeah, usually they're it seems like they're always full.
Yeah,
but now it seems like a real problem, and you're gonna maybe start running into more stories like this with this dog and her 6 puppies just trying to find somewhere to survive.
Little doggos.
It's terrible. Get your dogs spayed and neutered, man. That's the only way to really help the situation, it seems like. Okay, and we have one more good news story for you today. Let's see. I did not pull up a good news story. I think I thought that was going to be enough with the dogs. Boy had to go barefoot for 13 years after childhood injury, but can now wear shoes thanks to free surgery. Stories by goodnewsnetwork.org and Andy Corbley. A boy who couldn't wear shoes until the age of 13 due to a childhood injury that left his feet deformed has had a life-changing surgery, courtesy of the floating medical charity that is Mercy Ships. Have you ever heard of this, Mercy Ships?
I've just seen the commercials, but I've never, other than that, I don't know too much about it.
Okay, so for anybody else that doesn't know about this, and I don't know a ton about it, but there are ships, big boats, and they have medical facilities on these, and surgeons and doctors from around the world volunteer their time to be on these boats, and then they go to countries that don't have appropriate medical care to perform surgeries like this one and change lives. It's really outstanding.
Very big boats, too.
Yeah, massive. 14-year-old Tara can now wear sneakers for the first time in his life and play football with his friends. From a fishing village near Manakara, Madagascar, Tara's family was unable to pay for any significant treatment after he accidentally tipped over a pot of boiling water onto his left leg when he was 1. He suffered third-degree burns that fused his leg to his ankle. Even though he recovered without medical intervention, the way his ankle healed limited his movement. With no means to pay for hospital care, his family had previously sought out 3 traditional healers, each offering their own remedies, but nothing seemed to work. His mother then learned that the international hospital charity Mercy Ships had docked Africa Mercy in Madagascar. The story does continue. That is on goodnewsnetwork.org by Andy Corbley. All right, brother. That's all the stories we got today. You want to tell folks a little bit about Market Match?
Sure. Market Match is a software platform that conducts market research and surveys using swipe technology, which is gamifying, how surveys are done right now. So if you have anything that has to do with inventory and you want to see what your customers' preferences are before you actually stock an item, my technology is here to help you. If you have an event and you want to see what type of vendors, food trucks, or food and drinks are going to be at that event before your customers actually come to the event, I'm more than happy to help you. My technology is here to connect the customers through the merchant's eyes in regards to what they want using contactless technology.
And man, I know that your program is really geared towards making sure that the business owner can order products that customers are going to use, and this kind of helps save money for the business.
Absolutely.
Regardless of the size of the business. But the thing that I like most about it is that it gives the business owner a way to kind of get to know the customers instead of just loading up their wall with a bunch of stuff that nobody likes.
Yep.
Or their shelves, whatever. Yep. We're at Hoppin' today. It's on Weisenberger Street, right down the road from right down the road from Doc's Records, right next door to Blackland Distillery, 1 block north of the Target on West 7th. And that's why I said loading up their walls, because they've got 58 taps on the wall. They do use Market Match, so you can come in here and actually try Market Match out while you're enjoying craft beers off the wall, the cocktail bar, whatever you want, and just enjoying yourself, having a good time with some friends, or winding down here over at Hoppin'. I almost forgot the name of the place. We got one more call in from our friend Kaylee Ryans, and we've played this, I think, last week. We might have even played it yesterday, but I wanted you guys to know she did something really unique.
Hey, Andrew and Fort Worth Roots listeners. I have a quick announcement. I'm Kaylee Ryan, a singer-songwriter in Fort Worth, and I just dropped a Star Wars love song from Padme's perspective about her and Anakin's tragic love story. I'm a big Star Wars nerd, and this song is very special to me. It's called Forfeit. Forfeit by Kaylee Ryan. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, YouTube. I'm also at Kaylee Ryan Melodies on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Thank y'all, and may the force be with you.
Anyway, I really appreciate that. And she's so talented and just got a great following of people. We did a event at McFly's Pub one Tuesday, and the people that showed out, it was overwhelming, because we've had some pretty large Fort Worth musician names at our Tuesday nights. But Kaylee has the kind of personality that all of her friends wanted to be there. Awesome. I mean, McFly's was just absolutely packed.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Reyes Boxing. They emptied out their gym, and every single one of them, coaches, the owner, and a bunch of the people that just go there, showed up for the Tuesday night at McFly's. So anyway, we're going to try to get Kaylee back out there again for you guys. And tonight at McFly's Pub, we've got Mayor Darren Houck. He's coming out to do a recording with us. If y'all don't already know this, me and Darren have been friends for years, and we typically will do a recording about every 6 months or so is kind of the frequency. But I think it might have been a year since I have to go back and look, but it's been a while since we sat down with the mayor. So anyway, that's happening tonight. It starts at 5 o'clock at McFly's Pub. We do these every Tuesday. We're going to have an audience microphone so that you guys can get in on the conversation. There's going to be food available. We usually do pizza. I got a call from Whit, the bar manager, last night, and she said, we got other food options, so we're not going to be doing pizza this Tuesday, but usually that's what we do. So no pizza tonight, but lots of food options. And we'll be giving away 2 Billy Bob, at least one set of Billy Bob tickets tonight. So come hang out with us. This is my church service. This is how I experience community. So I'd love for you guys to roll up. No cover, 5 to 7, McFly's Pub. You got anything for him, brother?
I will give a shout out to 1 Million Cups. You joined me with 1 Million Cups recently.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just to let everyone out there, if you are an entrepreneur or a business or just anyone that's really wanting to learn about what's happening in the community of Fort Worth and also other suburbs as well too, 1 Million Cups is here in Fort Worth. 1 Million Cups is also in Arlington. It's a great place to go out and see businesses that are trying to get a name for themselves, and then also to get some networking for yourself if you're looking to gain some more exposure.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been to 3 now,
Mm-hmm.
I think. 2 here in Fort Worth and then 1 over there in Arlington. And just trying to get out there and see what we can do to help support more small businesses here in North Texas. And that seems to be the best way to find folks.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, brother. Well, that's it for today. As you folks travel through outer space on the back of a giant sea turtle, we hope that you will choose love and gratitude every chance you get. We'll be right back here tomorrow on Wednesday. Episodes are released out at 9 o'clock, and we try to keep these close to 20 minutes for you. Just get you set for your day, on your way to work, dropping the kiddos off, whatever you got going on. So until tomorrow, folks, good day.
My great day in the morning. My great day in the morning.
I hope you woke up today and somebody loved you. And you know who I really hope I hope it was yourself.